On school mornings, my wife Rachel and I walk our boys to school because it's just down the street at the corner of our neighborhood. On our way back home this morning, we got to talking about Rachel's writing platform and what kind of strategies she could use to build her audience. In addition to her novels, she also has a passion for helping other writers, particularly parents who feel like they don't have enough time to write because they're taking care of their families. She has talked about having a podcast on this subject, and I brought it up and said, even though your podcast is aimed at helping writers, you could also find some fans within that audience. She felt hesitant about this idea because there's another well-known podcast called the Self-Publishing Podcast that talks about writing and self-publishing. And in her words, they've cornered the market. A lot of people feel this way. The industry they're in seems too saturated, or someone else is doing it so well that you feel like you don't even stand a chance. I shared an example with Rachel this morning that I want to share with you. A few months ago, I got back into running regularly for exercise. One of my friends decided to start too, and we became accountability partners. He shared one of his runs with me from an app called Strava. Even though I'd used other running apps in the past and still get regular emails from one of them, I wasn't using a running app at the time, and my friend was on Strava, so I downloaded it, and I made sure it did what I wanted it to do, and I started recording and sharing my runs. He sent me this the other day. Apparently, he has too much time on his hands. Anyway, one of my first interactions on Strava was with another friend who bikes and runs, and he asked me, "Oh, do you bike too?" And that's when I realized that this app was specifically for people who run and bike. People are afraid that if they niche down, if they curate their message too much, if they target a specific audience, they'll exclude people and they won't have access to as big of an audience. But look at Strava. They got really specific. They made it just about running and biking, and they still reached me, someone who may never be a cyclist. On the other hand, if I were to start running more seriously and wanted to optimize my pace and heart rate and all of those things, I would do the research and I would find the app that was willing to exclude certain potential customers because they wanted to meet my specific needs. If you cast a wide net with gaping holes in it, you may catch some fish. You're likely to catch some things that you didn't really want. But if you make a small net that's really good at catching a specific kind of fish, you'll be more successful in the long run. So back to Rachel. After I shared this example with her, I reminded her that she is in a different place in her journey, in different circumstances, raising 6 young children and writing in the margins of her life. She is also focused on a different type of audience member than the Self-Publishing Podcast. If you want to eliminate and get rid of your competition, you don't have to hire a hitman. It's really just about being yourself and focusing on the unique value you have to offer your customers. It's good to understand the conventions in your industry, and it's good to know what works, but your unique expression of those things is what will connect you to a unique audience. The more you show people that you're willing to focus on the unique needs of a specific audience, even at the expense of losing other people who may not fit in your brand, the stronger your connection will be with the audience that does resonate with you, and the deeper their loyalty will be. Be yourself. Find out what it is that makes you unique. Don't try to fabricate something, but ask yourself, what is unique about you, about your circumstances, about your products or values? If you do that, you don't have to worry about competing on price points or offering the best deal or having better service, though that may be one of your values. You don't have to outdo anybody if you're focusing on being yourself. That's how you get rid of your competition. Just be you.